Second half of chapter 5. Today we're going to look at 5.5 and 5.6, but they are the same concept. That's why I put them together. Okay. At the beginning of chapter 5 last week, feels like forever ago before Thanksgiving break, we talked about things having proportion with each other. What does proportion mean? If two things are proportional to each other.
They're the same amount.
They're the same amount. They have the same rate. Rate instead of amount. They have the same rate. Okay, so we're going to look at different tables and graphs and saying if they're proportional or not. Okay? So, looking at this graph here, it's set up as a table. I shouldn't say graph, it's a table. Okay? We have coffee in pounds, and we have the amount of money it costs for each pound. Losing my train of thought. When else have we been dealing with tables?
I think last week.
X and Y table. Okay, this is very similar to our X and Y table. I want us to think of it that way. This is an XY table. It's just in rates instead of coordinates. Okay, so we have pounds for our X, and we have the cost as our Y. We want to find the constant of proportionality. Now what that means is what the change of X to the change in Y is. So how are we getting from X to Y? How do you think we figure that out? So how did we go from 1 to 3?
For 1 pound of coffee, it costs $3.
Cost $3. What did you say, Haley?
Times it by 3.
Times by 3. Okay? So if we multiply by 3, we're going to divide by 3. We're going to divide these two to find our constant. Okay, and what we're going to notice, what Haley said, if we divide our y divided by our x, always y divided by x, we're going to get 3, which is what Haley said. So 3 is our constant, or the change of what's happening. Okay, now to tell if it's proportional, we want to see what the rest of them are, what their rate was. Okay, and if it's proportional, what do you think they all have to be? They all need to be, 3. So we have to do that for each one. So my next one, I would do 6 divided by 2, which is 3. What would I do for my next one? 9 divided by 3. And we get 3. Now you cannot just assume the next one's going to be 3. You have to go through and say if it is or not. So what's my last one?
3.
It is 3, so 12 divided by 4, and we get 3. So is this coffee per pounds to dollars, is that proportional? Yes, because the constant of proportionality, which is 3, is the same all throughout. Now, if I just had one of them different, would they be proportional to each other? No, they all have to be exactly the same. Yeah? Let's look at a similar one. You are going to see most of your tables written horizontally. Okay, but it's still an XY table. X is on the top, Y is on the bottom. And remember, it's always going to be Y divided by X. So bottom divided by the top. We want to know if the number of baseballs is proportional to the total cost all throughout. So where do we start if we're trying to find the constant of proportionality? What do we do first?
You want to take your first two numbers and divide them.
Yep, we want to look at our first x and y, which is 1 and 2, and we want to divide those. Remember, we want bottom or our y divided by our top, which is our x. So how would I do that one? 2 over 1, which gives you 2. So right now our constant is 2. So we want to see if all the rest of them are 2. What do I need to do on my second one? Yep, because we have 3 divided by 2. What does that give us? 1.5. Do we necessarily have to keep going? No, why not? Because one of them already broke, so we know that this is not going to be proportional. Okay? If we got all the way to the last one and they were all 2, we cannot stop and just assume the last one's going to be 2. We have to prove all of them before we say yes or no. Okay? Try that next one. Skip this one. Try this one on your own with the time and the distance. Try that one on your own. See if it's proportional or not and find the constant. If it's wondering if it's proportional or not, how do we find that out?
Y over X.
Y over X. I like how you said that. We're going to do Y over X. So what's my first pair?
24 divided by
24 divided by 1, and we get
24.
24. What's my next pair?
48 divided by 2.
48 divided by 2?
24.
24. Can we just assume?
No.
No, we got to keep going. Next one,
72 divided by 3.
which is
24.
24. 96 divided by 4?
24.
24. So in conclusion,
No, 24. So
yes,
yes.
it is proportional. If it asked you what the constant was, what is it?
24.
24, because constant means it shows up consistently. Okay, so 24 is our constant of this proportion. Questions over tables before we look at a graph. Thanks. Last one here. This is going to be on the back of your notes, right before the exit ticket. Flip all the way to the back of your notes. Okay, here instead of a table, we're given a graph. But do we still have everything in order to tell if it's proportional or not? Right, because what do we have here? We have coordinates, which give us our
X and
x and
Y.
y. Yep, which one's our x and which one's our y?
The first one is X and the second one is Y.
Yep, first one's x, second one is y. Awesome. So, what was our formula that we followed? What do we do?
X divided
Or Y divided.
Y over x. Yep. So, looking at, I'm just going to go top to bottom. Top one, 12 and 72. What do I need to do with that first pair? Divide them which way? 72 over 12, which is 6. So right now it's saying the constant is 6. Can we just say it's 6?
No.
No, what do we have to do?
Keep going.
Gotta keep going. What's our second one?
48 divided by 8.
48 divided by 8, which is 6. Can we assume?
No.
No, what's our last one?
24 divided by 4.
24 divided by 4, which is
6.
6. So what does that tell us? It is proportional. What is our constant? 6. Questions over proportionality? Rocking and rolling? All right.